Hi, I'm Octavia Spencer, and welcome to the Graham Norton Show.
Welcome to the show. It's Halloween, everyone. Yay! All over the place, people will be knocking on our doors and saying those three little words, test and trace. And there is light at the end of the tunnel, though, isn't there? Yeah. Matt Hancock has said by the end of the year, we could have an injectable vaccine. Described as just a tiny little prick. Matt Hancock is the health secretary. So, who do we have on the show tonight? Joining me here in the studio, it's comedian and Strictly contestant Bill Bailey. Top children's author David Walliams is here. We've got BBC News correspondent Frank Gardner. And singer and actor Jessie Buckley. Plus, we'll be joined live from LA by Oscar-winning actress Octavia Spencer. And we'll have music right here in the studio from Irish singer-songwriter Dermot Kennedy, ladies and gentlemen. So, welcome all. Welcome all. Very nice to see you all. Yes. David, a real audience. Nice, eh?
It's wonderful because, and Britain's Got Talent, we had a virtual audience. We just had a screen of people at home.
And was it real? Were they really there?
They were real people, Graham.
OK.
Who liked the show. But some of them got a little carried away, and we had one lady flashing her breasts as we were recording.
That's not good.
No.
Doesn't have non-question time, does it?
No. I never saw them. I was disappointed.
And Frank Gardner, first time for you, but also kind of first time for us, because we've never had a sort of, intrepid BBC news reporter on the show before.
It's not daunting at all. I mean, it's a lot, very daunting. Honestly, this is scarier than facing the Taliban or something. Yeah.
And you're a journalist. You're used to asking the questions and kind of bringing the story. Is it weird being the story?
Only briefly, because, this will end, and then I will go back to doing what I do for my day job. So it was very weird when I came back after months in hospital after being shot suddenly finding that I was having to talk about me, which, unlike these incredibly glamorous people you've got here, it's not...
all they can do.
It comes naturally to them.
What's he talking about? And Bill Bailey, are you exhausted with the dancing?
Yes.
Were you training all day today?
I've been training all day today, yes. So I'm slightly on another planet at the moment. But yes, it's been fantastic fun. And
has it though?
It has. I mean, look at that. That's a man having fun right there. I'm wearing golden trousers, for God's sake. I've never worn gold trousers in my life. Such a thing that you might find in a tomb.
But now, with OT, how does the bubble work? Are you and OT just kind of living in a pod somewhere, a yurt? How does it work?
In a dance pod. No, she's in a bubble with me and my wife.
Hello.
So...
What curse?
It's quite cosy in the bubble. No, she's living separately, and I go home at night to train after training to see my wife.
Actually, that sounds all right. Yeah. And Jessie Buckley, you've never been here before, but weird, I'd sort of forgotten. No, obviously I knew we'd worked together, but it was in this studio.
Yeah, God.
I know.
Terror.
Yes, when you were auditioning for the role of Nancy.
Yeah.
And I joined anything. Now, I didn't think that was that long ago.
Oh,
and then I saw that picture, and, even I look young in it. So, I mean...
Can I just say what was going on with their costumes?
Well, if you're going to be in Oliver, you will wear something like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Colourful.
Yeah. It looks like Jason Donovan in there.
Who, me?
Yes.
I'll take that as a compliment. Well, now, Jessie Buckley. Such a star now. BAFTA nominated for Wild Rose. We also saw you in Chernobyl, Tom Hardy in Taboo, and you were just in Judy with Renee Zellweger. And now you're in a film by such a wonderful Hollywood director. I'm Thinking of Ending Things. This is from Charlie Kaufman. It's currently streaming on Netflix. And I love when you see a film that isn't like any other films. I just think they're brilliant. So tell us what it's about.
It's about...
You've had time to think of this.
2 hours long. No. It's, I will say it's a kind of psychological horror road trip of Meet the Parents.
That's good.
Is that good?
No, that is very good. Very good. No, because at the end of the film, because you were coming on the show, I was saying, I wonder if Jessie's family and Kerry have seen this film. Have they seen it?
Yeah.
What did they make of it?
They're worried about me, no. They liked it, I think. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they would just tell me that anyway, but yeah, they're very proud of the film.
The film.
The film.
Because Charlie Kaufman, you know, he made Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, being John Malkovich. He's sort of a one-off. Is working with him as unique? Is he odd in himself?
I mean, his mind is amazing, you know, and it's definitely, you know, once you kind of go into it, it's not going to be something that you expect. But he's gorgeous. We played scooter races in between takes and had a lovely time.
Oh, so he's fun?
He's really fun, yeah.
Oh, because you kind of imagine he might be very, very serious.
No, he's really fun.
What were some of the weird directions he gave you, though? He did give you some strange notes.
The first note I got when I got it first to read, and I was in Dublin, and I had like 12 hours to put it on tape, was that this woman, thing, person is molecular. And I was crap at chemistry at school, so I was like, what the fuck does molecular mean?
What does it mean?
I have no idea. I still don't really know.
You got far. You were
I
very molecular. You
Yeah,
were molecular. Because notes from directors can be odd. David, you did some... Was it an advert you were
I was doing an advert many years ago for a gardening channel, and I had to come through a garden gate.
You've done well.
I know. I had to come through a garden gate holding a garden gnome. And so I came in with a smile on my face, and the director said, can you come in through the gate with the look on your face that says, hello, I've got a gnome for you? I went, well, I mean, I think it's in the actor's handbook somewhere. I think I know that face. I think it's probably the weirdest direction.
What is it?
Very molecular. We've got a clip of you being molecular. This is you and Jake, played by the great Jessie Plemons. Was that odd being two Jessies?
We kind of found a way to call each other.
OK.
He called me Bucks, B-U-C-K-S, and I called him Plucks, which was like our nicknames on set. But then Charlie would just come up and say Jessie and look at us and we get on with it.
One of us will do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is you and Jessie Plemons at his parents' house.
Hey, what happened to Jimmy? Oh, here he is. You're a stinky, wet monster, huh?
Sorry. Sorry.
About?
His smell?
Jake, he's a dog. It's fine. Jimmy. Hey, who is this?
You can't tell.
No.
It's me.
No, it was me. Wasn't it me?
Sorry for the delay.
Oh,
Kitchen emergency, don't you know? Well, here it is, Jake's favorite. Ta-da! Chocolate Yule log.
That's good. It was so good. And does this ring a bell, this idea of, you know, bringing someone home to meet your parents?
Yeah. Well, when I moved over to London, you know, my parents are my dad is very proud Irishman. Like, the horse down the road who's been in the Grand National is as Irish as they come, and he's not at all. But, yeah, I had a kind of a slew of English boyfriends. Not a slew, I didn't have loads of boyfriends.
We'll cut around this for you, Jessie.
She's ruined. It's not French, she's ruined.
Jeez, Ryanair's full.
Slew? How many is a slew?
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, so you had a boutique selection of English boyfriends.
Yeah. And one of the first boyfriends I had did come home, and my mum had just had a baby, and, you know, Dad is kind of, like, eyeing him up, kind of, you know, of who's this British dude. And over the weekend, there was just a series of, like, bottles left on top of the door when he came into his room. We had to sleep in separate beds, and then he was like, "Do you like horses?" And so he, like, brought up to this horse and put on a horse, and the arse of the horse was slapped, and it went off, and he's now an ex, sadly.
Very good. So, Frank, your daughters they're kind of grown up now. So you've been through
that's a matter of debate, actually.
Oh,
yeah.
OK.
They are 21 and 22. And I think
that's grown.
It's a work in progress. One of them's in the audience watching somewhere here.
Oh, OK.
So
well, let's talk about the other one.
Yeah. What I decided, I was like, I'm absolutely going to put him at ease. I'm not going to grill him with questions. I'm going to just...
You're a good man.
Yeah, well, not... Try telling her that, because afterwards she said, "Dad, you never asked him a thing about himself, you know." I mean, you know, it was all about you, not him. So, you know, I then kind of flipped the other way and then kind of massively grilled him. So there was no kind of, you know... like, I know, I'm not cut out for this business.
You're brilliant.
It's tricky.
No.
The thing was, yes, I mean, that's true that parents are very protective of their daughters, you know. And one of my earliest girlfriends, I had a slew of girlfriends, just a gaggle. Flock. I don't know how many.
A bubble.
Oh, no, it's a sore point. No, this occasion happened when I stayed over at my girlfriend's house, and the mother was quite strict about sleeping arrangements. You know, you're not going to be able to sleep there. You have to sleep in the spare room. So, you know, we had a nice evening. I dutifully slept in the spare room. And then, about midnight, her husband came back from the pub, very, very drunk. And clearly this had been a bit of a thing, you know, between them. And there was a bit of a sort of a kind of, you know, words were had, like... So he just staggered off and came into the spare room where I was sleeping in the bed and got into bed with me and just fell asleep. And so I spent the whole night sort of, kind of in this awkward situation. And the next morning I left, it was like, "Well, I'm very glad you didn't sleep with my daughter." "No, but I've slept with your husband."
Take that. Very good. Now, ladies and gentlemen, David Walliams, he's only gone and written another book. Yes, he has. I have a copy here. This one is called Codename Bananas. Codename Bananas. And I have to say, this does sound like a lot of fun. Tell us what it's about.
OK, so it's about a gorilla in London Zoo that's in danger, and it's rescued by a little boy called Eric and his uncle, who's a zookeeper. And they have to get out of London Zoo, and they end up at a guest house in Bognor Regis, where they uncover a deadly Nazi plot to kill Winston Churchill.
It is set back then, though.
It's set in 90... I could have said that a bit first.
Yes,
It's set...
I was thinking, they've sort of missed the boat with Winston Churchill. I mean, Winston's dead, we all know that. Dozy Nazis.
OK, all right. It's set in the Second World War. It's set during the Second World War. This is the key point. It's set in World War II, in 1940. And Gertrude is a gorilla and is in London Zoo, is in danger. And Eric is a little boy who loves animals, and his uncle, Uncle Sid, who works at the zoo, they have to rescue Gertrude and take her out of London. And they end up at a guest house in Bognor Regis where they uncover a deadly Nazi plot to kill Winston Churchill.
Stakes are very high because he's still alive.
Yeah.
And,
well, in 1940, he was the Prime Minister. He's not around anymore. But what I want to do is a real sort of rollicking comedy adventure. And I think the thing with kids' books is you just want kids to read them. You want them to turn the page. You want it to be exciting and funny and there to be loads of adventures. And so that's what I've tried to do. So it's basically like a kind of action comedy with a gorilla at the centre of it, because in every single scene there's a gorilla.
You talk about the readers and you involve the readers in the creation of the book. Tell us, so this was a comic relief raffle?
Yes, there was a comic relief and Children in Need Big Night In show, which I think was in about March of this year. And we ran a competition on it for somebody to name a character in my book. And so someone someone won it. Everyone, I think, gave £5 or something, and then they could be in this competition. And then I haven't been able to meet these people yet. I've only met them over Zoom. And they gave me the name of Gertrude, which is the name of the gorilla in my book. And I think it raised like £700,000.
Wow.
Which was fantastic.
But what... Yeah, yes, I think that's... Wow.
Yeah, so I was really pleased.
Was the gorilla always a lady gorilla, or did they make...
I thought a lady gorilla was better somehow, because I thought it could... I don't know, you just think it'd be a bit friendlier. Lady gorilla... I don't know, are lady gorillas more friendly than male gorillas?
Yeah,
Does anyone know?
Yeah, they are, actually. I'm sorry about this, a kind of weird interruption here, but in Rwanda...
It's a chat show, chat.
In Rwanda, I got carried up through the forest to go and see the Highland gorillas. It's an amazing experience. And they have a language of their own. So all the guides are ex-poachers. And they greet the gorillas by going, that means hello. If the gorillas get too close, and this is for their own safety so they don't catch our diseases, the poachers turned guides go, that means, like, back off. Because I was in a wheelchair, I had this female gorilla was fascinated by the wheelchair. So she'd do this really cool thing. She'd just kind of muscle over. And when the guides weren't looking, she'd kind of shuffle closer to the wheelchair until she got caught and put back. And you can see the intelligence in their eyes. They are fantastic.
I wish I'd gone to Rwanda now and done some proper research. I was just guessing. That's a great story. I'd love to go. Can anyone go, or do you have to be someone important?
You've got to be in a wheelchair to do it. Now, of course, anybody can go. Yeah.
I can bring Matt Lucas. I mean, he used to do that, didn't he?
But now, normally, in your book, you'd be going around schools, but you're not allowed to do that anymore.
I'm not allowed to do that. The reason is just because of COVID. Yes, because...
Because of COVID! Because of COVID!
Come on.
Because of COVID!
Yeah, it's sad, and you can't do book signings. I love it, you know, getting on the train and going up to Newcastle for the day. And, oh, yeah, laugh out, yeah. Have a good old laugh.
But readers are still writing.
And it's sad, yeah. And, you know, because we actually share an agent, and during lockdowns, the letters from fans go to my agent, and during lockdown, we couldn't get into the office to get the letters. And so there was like 6 months of letters there. There were like thousands and thousands of letters that we then had to answer, me and my PA, in the last kind of couple of months. But I brought along, if I can indulge you,
yes,
a couple of interesting ones. So
yeah, go.
They kind of go into two categories, the letters I get.
OK.
I get letters from kids, and I get letters from amorous ladies abroad.
Oh.
I don't know why they're always abroad, but for some reason...
Yes, they've been deported.
Yeah. So this one's from a kid. Dear David Walliams, I'd like to tell you about my weekend. Saturday, first I got ready and went to the wetland centre. I took my bike and rode there. We went on the south route, which led to the wild side hide. We saw loads of birds, including a huge swan, a nane, and lots of birds of different shapes and sizes. Sunday. I really didn't want to have a haircut, but my dad said I had to, so I went to the hairdresser with my dad and my brother. At the end, I got a lollipop. P.S. I enjoyed all of your books. Well, thank you. We got there in the end. Wondering what this letter was all about. Fascinating, going to Wetland Centre. It's sweet, though, isn't it?
Their eyes lit up for Wetland Centre.
When you said Wetland, you had me at Wetland Centre there.
So this is more... This is very much in the second
category. Oh, this is the more your amorous...
I leave my seat and relocate to your thigh.
Eh?
When I sit, I'm more towards your crotch than your knee. I want to spin around and face you, but we're on a plane without much privacy. Our kissing continues, and the pace tempers between slow and sensual to rabid and sloppy. I can feel your hand on my chest with a couple of fingers slowly slipping below my bust line. Oh. I enlace my fingers between your shirt and buttons and dip my head towards your shoulder to whisper, I want you.
Anyway.
If it was the red, I would have flipped around then, because I...
Love the family, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, and I went to the wetland centre, which I really enjoyed.
Oh, now, staying with children's books, our next guest is starring in a new film of one of our most loved children's stories. Let's head to Los Angeles and meet the Oscar-winning star of The Help, Hidden Figures and The Shape of Water. It's Octavia Spencer, everybody! I love Octavia Spencer. Oh, I'm so pleased you're here.
I love you. I would love to be in London right now. We had so much fun filming there.
And but where are you? You're in Los Angeles. Los Angeles, is that your house?
I'm at my home, yes.
Okay. Just looking around.
The flowers behind me are dying.
Like us all. Now, I feel doubly sorry for you because 2020, not great for anyone, but you had a summer of celebrations planned.
Yes.
Because this was going to be a big birthday.
The big 5-0. It happened. The birthday happened. The big 5-0 happened. And I wasn't expecting anything because everybody texted. It was great. But when I sat down to have my dinner, Beyonce's mom, I'm really great friends with her, had done something special with my assistant, and they got all of my friends together to send me a special video. So it was like a surprise party. And, it was Katy Perry saying happy birthday to me in the opening, and of course I started sobbing. Then I love Keanu Reeves. I don't know him. I've met him, but I don't know him, and he sent me well wishes. So it was just like, oh! It was really sweet.
Tell us your Keanu Reeves story. I love this story. So tell us when you first met Keanu Reeves.
It was about 25 years ago. The Matrix had just come out. I was on my way to pick up a script to read for an audition. So I wasn't really wearing any underwear. I was wearing sweats and my favorite college football T-shirt, and it was worn. I mean, it was see-through. Okay, no underwear, guys.
God is in the details. Okay, yeah.
And my car hadn't been washed because I always parked underneath the tree, and there was bird crap all over the back of it. And it broke down like in this very posh area of Beverly Hills, and there was a cafe, and all of these people were sitting out there, and the cars were honking. Nobody would help me. Then all of a sudden, this guy comes up with his sunglasses and motorcycle helmet, and I knew immediately it was Keanu Reeves. And I, of course, was like freaking out. And he, do you need some help? And I'm like, sure. So I thought he was going to get into the car. I got behind the car to push. He said, no, I'm going to push you out of the street. You get in. So he pushed me out of the street. And then, of course, when people saw it was Keanu Reeves helping me, everybody came down to help.
And does he now know that was you?
I hope he doesn't, honey, because when I tell you, all of this was showing. And I was mortified by all. I mean, I kept thinking, I need to get my car washed. It was literally months of bird poop on the back of the car.
Well, look at you now, Octavia. You bring us a new adaptation of Roald Dahl's The Witches. This is currently available to rent at home on all premium video-on-demand services. And obviously, it's a much-loved children's book. Tell us who you play and how this version might differ from other versions we've seen.
Well, I play Grandma, and in the old version, Grandma was Norwegian. And this version, Grandma, is from where I'm from. I'm from Montgomery, Alabama. Grandma's from Demopolis, Alabama. And there are a lot of frights and scares, just like the old one. But it's just been updated with a lot more fun. There's a lot more... I don't know what I can say, except you want to tune in for the delicious evil.
Listen, let's watch a clip. This is you in the hotel, which is the kind of seen a lot of it, with the hotel manager played by the great Stanley Tucci. Here it is.
Oh, thank you.
Excuse me, madam. May I have a word with you? Please, this way. Just over here. You wouldn't happen to be carrying around a mouse on your person, now would you?
A mouse?
Mm-hmm.
Why on earth would I be carrying around a mouse? Does this have anything to do with all the rat traps being set up all over this hotel?
Rat traps?
Is this your pathetic idea of a smoke screen, accusing your guest of carrying around mice to hide the fact that this hotel has a mouse infestation?
No. What?
I'll tell you this. For what this hotel is costing me, I better not see a single mouse. Not even a tiny, cute one.
Yes, madam. I'm sorry.
We saw a glimpse of the CGI mice there, and like, you have a lot of scenes with mice, obviously, because you're the grandma.
Yes.
So did you just spend a lot of this film alone?
The filming portion of it was alone, so I had to get used to, because Bob warned me, he's like, it really needs to seem natural. So what I would do is, whenever I would have breakfast in my hotel suite, they would bring me eggs on these cute little egg holders, and I would just talk to the eggs, you know, do all of my dialogue to the eggs. And then, of course, I'd eat them, but...
Just like the film. But I have to say, Octavia, watching this as an older gentleman, like, children are going to find this... It's properly scary, isn't it?
I love it. Children will like it because it'll be that movie that they think about that scared them in their childhood and that they enjoyed, too.
Because Jessie Buckley's here. Do you know each other?
No, but you're amazing.
No, I love you.
I love you.
Because the original scarred you, didn't it?
Yeah, I loved all his books when I was young, and then I remember watching that film, and I just thought it was like terrifying and amazing when they took their wigs off, and yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, because Frank, you have kids. Did you read them the books or?
They read them themselves, but I remember reading Kiss Kiss when I was very young, and that scared the hell out of me.
Because David Walliams is here, the best-selling British children's author of all time, probably. Is that correct?
No, there's J.K. Rowling, you're forgetting.
Oh.
I don't know if Octavia remembers, but we worked together on Dinner for Schmucks.
On Dinner for Schmucks!
Yes, and I marvelled at how brilliant you were then, and then I followed your career with such interest, and I was so thrilled when you won an Oscar and everything. I was like, oh, my God, I'm so proud. I really wish I'd stayed in contact with her. But it's nice to see you here, and I'm so thrilled for you. And I can't wait to watch this movie with my son, because during lockdown, we had so much time, so I read every Roald Dahl book to my son. And he loved The Witches, and so we were just waiting for Halloween, because it's going to be the absolute perfect movie to watch on Halloween, because we can't be out trick-or-treating.
Octavia, thank you so much for joining us. I love talking to you. I can't wait till you can be here in person. Good luck with The Witches, and we'll see you soon. Octavia Spencer, everybody!
Thank you, guys.
Very good. Well, now, Frank Gardner, you bring us an extraordinary film about your life, Being Frank. Now, this is going to be going out on BBC Two next Thursday, 5th of November, at 9 p.m. And this is essentially about your life and how it changed in 2004. You were filming in Riyadh. How much of that day do you remember, or is it all recalled by looking at footage and things?
Sadly, I remember all of it. I mean, for kind of new readers start here, we were filming in Saudi Arabia, the aftermath of a terrorist attack, and we got ambushed by Al-Qaeda. It was just bad luck, wrong place, wrong time. And they pulled up in 2 vans, saw us, and their commander kind of divvied it up. He issued a quick set of orders, said, right, you take out the cameraman, you take out the reporter, and they cornered us. And I had this lovely, wonderful Irish cameraman, Simon Cumbers, from County Navan, a wonderful guy. He had 1 bullet and didn't survive, and I was shot 6 times at close range, and I was incredibly lucky to survive. They stood over me and pumped bullets into me, and I don't advise getting shot. It really hurts. It kind of messes up your whole day, actually, and so...
Yeah.
But some of the bullets kind of... One went through the shoulder, one went through the leg, kind of in and out and in, but the ones that did the damage were in the core of the body. So, net result, I have to use a wheelchair because I can't walk or stand or dance, which is a huge relief to my family.
I found one of the most moving things was the footage of you just walking around before it happened. And as a viewer, you know what's coming.
And I hadn't seen that footage before.
So how hard is that to watch?
It's pretty weird because, you know, I mean, it's almost kind of like a watershed, you know, 2/3 of my life walking around, getting up, just, you know, doing what I want. And then the rest of the life, you can't. It's very odd, but, you know, you roll with it. So, yeah, it was strange seeing that, and I think, gosh, I remember that. And, of course, it's almost like watching a movie where you think, get out, get out now before they come. Move.
Yeah.
Get out. You've only got seconds left. You know, it's almost like I'm sort of shouting that to myself. But it's too late by then. The script's already written. Yeah. And, you know, the one takeaway from all of this is just pour it all out. Get it out there. As soon as the bullet wound in my shoulder had healed enough for me to use a laptop, I wrote down everything I remember from the attack, which is everything. I looked into the eyes of the guy pointing a pistol at me. And when I was in hospital, a friend of mine brought me that movie Collateral that's got Tom Cruise in it. And he's in a back street and he whips out a pistol and he's shooting people. And you can hear the bang followed by the tinkle of the little brass cartridge case. And I thought, oh, my God, I remember that. This is a mate who brought me this film, by the way.
Yeah.
So I just rewound it several times.
This will take your mind off it.
Yeah. It's a lot of people getting shot. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah. But I kind of replayed it many times to inoculate myself so as I wouldn't jump every time I heard a bang.
Yeah. So you've got the horrific injuries, then you get the amazing care. How long was it before you attempted to go back to work?
I was in hospital for 7 months with 14 surgical operations, and that exhausts you. I mean, the NHS were fantastic. I mean, you know, they haven't just excelled themselves this year. They're always good, and they were brilliant with me. I had really, really good care.
Yeah.
The first hospital in Saudi didn't know what they were doing. They were trying to patch up the bullet wound in my shoulder. I was never going to die of that. I was actually bleeding to death from the core of the body. I had about 2 hours left at that stage, but I was rescued by this very good surgeon. And I came back and I was absolutely exhausted for about a year. But my wife at the time said, shall we go off and do something different, go and live in Australia, study butterflies? And I said, no, I want to go back to my news job because it's really interesting. And 16 years on, I'm still doing the job.
Well, listen, we've got a clip. We'll talk about it afterwards. This is you revisiting the hospital where you underwent your recovery.
I look at this and all this paraphernalia hanging off it. This was my life for months. I was so badly injured that I just had so much stuff hooked up to me. It's quite grim seeing it, actually. I mean, I became almost kind of institutionalized. I'm just thinking how bloody close I came to not making it and to, you know, not being a father to my girls and a husband. You know, it was just, it was so damn close.
Wow. And it's interesting, you talk about, you know, trying to steel yourself and go back to work and talking to the psychiatrist and watching films and things. But yet, 16 years later, it's still obviously... It's still hard for you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think about it every day. I mean, all the people who shot us are all dead. They're all accounted for. They're not at loose. They're not at large.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think about it. I mean, there's so much else to enjoy in life. You know, travelling, nature photography. Bill and I share a passion for bird watching and London Wetland Centre and things like that. You know,
when David's not there.
I mean, Bill's got a slew of friends there, so he goes a lot.
And you are incredibly active. I mean, there's footage in the documentary. I'll show it here. This is you skiing. That must be an amazing feeling free like that.
It's totally liberating. I retrained to ski. The army retrained me, and I had this guy. He said, I don't really know what I'm doing or why I'm training you with this, because I've never done this before, but he said, I'll tell you what, I'm going to point you down the hill. Any problems, I'll come and sort you out. And that was exactly what I needed. I didn't want to be cotton-wooled. And I was hopeless at first. I mean, you can see it there, but to stop, you kind of have to do a J-turn. And I would always overcompensate and then fall down the hill. I had to be rescued like a beetle on its back. But it's great. Once you get the hang of it, it's totally liberating. Well,
it's a fascinating story. It's called Being Frank, and it's on next Thursday, BBC 2 at 9 p.m. Frank Gardner, everybody. Now, I've got lots of authors on the show tonight, and you'll all know how important presentation is for a book. You know, just sometimes a carelessly placed sticker can make a kid's book, well, less of a kid's book. Like this story, Tuck Me In. Oops. That's... gone wrong. Little wonder this particular caterpillar is so popular. Yeah. It was as long as his body. Here's a twist on Little House on the Prairie. Well, you know, times were hard. Wagons didn't pay for themselves. And finally, just for clarification, this next book is actually called My Daddy is a Giant. Actually,
very good.
Did something similar happen to you?
Well, no, you know the bit on the television where it tells you about the programme, the little information box?
Oh, yes.
Well, I was doing the voiceover for It'll Be All Right on the Night, and the text was meant to say, David Walliams reveals his toe-curling cock-ups. But they didn't have enough room, so it just went, David Walliams reveals his toe-curling cock. May not be the prettiest one you've seen, but toe-curling.
I mean, a lot more people tuned in to watch, though.
Did you watch?
Viewers went through the roof that night.
Now, Bill Bailey, not just busy with Strictly. I'm nervous to say this, but Bill Bailey, you're planning a tour.
Yes.
Like a real proper tour.
A proper tour, yeah.
Yes. Now, it's called En Route to Normal.
Yes.
The tickets are on sale now. I sound like I'm making this up.
No.
It's En Route to Normal. That you planned this before things weren't normal.
Well, that's right. I mean, the idea for the show, the title, came to last year, before we'd even heard of COVID or coronavirus. And so the idea was, it was about the kind of situation that we're in, generally, this sort of chaotic situation in the world. But, of course, it's now becoming even more sort of appropriate in a way. And so, yeah, we're planning a tour. I mean, it's going to be not till the end of next year. That's about as soon as we can really imagine things might be back to normal. But, yes, that's the idea. And it'll be in venues that you can configure with distancing, if such a thing is still in place then, by the time we get there, but, you know.
Yeah. And, well, in the meantime, you've written a book.
Yes.
It's called, here we go, Bill Bailey's Remarkable Guide to Happiness. The book is out now, and it is sort of the book we didn't know we needed now.
Exactly. I used to talk about it in my show a lot, about the nature of happiness and about British happiness, which is quite different to happiness around the world. You know, like, British happiness is very much... It's quite self-deprecating and quite sort of, you know, low energy. You know, you ask Australians, how are you? Ah, mate, I'm awesome. You know? How's your day? Awesome. You know? British people, how are you? Not too bad. You know? We tend to downplay things, you know. Not too bad, all things considered. You know, things are clearly bad, but they're not quite as bad as we thought they were going to be. There's the abyss. We're not in the abyss. We're in the car park next to it. You know. So it was very much like about... That's where it began, and then I sort of wrote a bit about happiness and about the nature of it, and I guess it sort of grew from there.
And then, weirdly, Strictly aside, you write about your love of dance.
Well, that's right. I mean, the thing is, Strictly, of the ballroom and Latin, they're very formal couples dancing. But I love the sort of the free form of dancing, you know, like just freestyle, jazz, interpretive dance.
Otie's throwing things at the television.
Yes, she is. Actually, one of the funny things about Strictly is what they do, when you do the dance, you're mic'd up. And so they record all of what you're saying during the dance. And then they play it back to you afterwards. So they mute the microphone during the show, but then afterwards they play you what you're actually saying when you're doing the dance. And Otie was saying, legs, arms, legs. And I was just going, hey! Yay! You know, so I'm very much of that from that school of, you know, free form, free expression. I love dancing, you know, in a social situation.
But you're taking it very seriously, Strictly, I thought.
Very seriously,
yes.
I mean, I've been doing research into the history of dance. I've read Craig Revel Horwood's book.
Wow, somebody has.
Teach yourself ballroom.
Is that what it's called?
Yes, you have to sort of... No, but I mean, I do. I love it. I actually love the idea of it. I love the sort of process of it. It's been fascinating. I mean, you know, it keeps you fit, gets you fit, you know.
What are you giving tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night, I give the quick step.
How's that going?
Well, the clue in the name, Graham, is a very, very quick dance. Feet have to just glide across the floor, and that's the challenge I'm having at the moment. But it's going very well, thanks.
Well, it's so great to have Strictly back. It's just a lovely, lovely thing.
Yeah, it's great fun.
My mum.
Oh, yes.
She'd love me to do Strictly, because she's obsessed with Strictly.
Well, you should do it, then.
Do it.
You might as well. Well, nothing else going on about it. Is it too late to join now?
I don't know. I think we could probably... I could probably put in a word.
If you could, yeah.
You could pod. You could be a pod.
I could be in the pod.
You could be in the pod. You could be in the bubble with me and Oti.
I'd love that. And your wife. Sounds wonderful.
I'll teach you the cha-cha.
But now, you wrote this book in lockdown. That isn't all you did in lockdown, ladies and gentlemen. You play lots of instruments, but am I right, you've learnt a new instrument in lockdown?
Yes, I did. A couple of things. Yeah, I learned a couple of instruments. I sort of really got to grips with the didgeridoo, and
Are you serious? Do you own a
yes,
didgeridoo?
I owned a didgeridoo, and I got a lot of complaints, actually, from neighbours. People thought there was a swarm of bees. But I actually also I've been teaching myself this instrument here, which is... it's something I've wanted to play for a long time. I play it occasionally, you know, but it's a mandola. And it's like a mandolin, but it's a deeper sound. It makes a lovely sort of like a deeper sound. I'll give you a little...
Oh, yeah.
I'll give you a demo.
Oh, yeah.
I've written, actually... I've been practising with an Irish reel, so I don't know if you... this brings back any memories. I'll start...
Yes, it'll be on our feet.
Right through the door.
Oh, really?
Irish chick, don't come in.
Right, it is time for music. This Irish singer-songwriter has gone from busking in Dublin to selling out worldwide tour. Here performing his global hit, Giants, it is Dermot Kennedy!
We used to be giants. When did we stop? Say the word and I'll be yours. You know I never forgot. The hope and the hurt has lived inside of me. But there's gold in the dirt I never took the time to see. But I knew of its worth when you walked beside of me. My hand fit in yours like a bird would find the breeze. We used to be giants, so when did we stop? Say the word and I'll be yours. You know I never forgot we were the song in the silence. But time catches up. Say the word and I'll be yours. You know I never forgot. I knew from the start you'd be the one to set me free. That day in the park, when the hurt would hide from me. Those eyes used to know me, it's been way too long. You are the moon and the stars and all they gaze upon. Time won't ever move slowly, what you waiting on? What you waiting on? We used to be giants, so when did we stop? Say the word and I'll be yours. You know I never forgot we were the song in the silence. The time catches up. Say the word and I'll be word and I'll be yours. You know I never forgot. We were the song in the silence. Time catches up. Just say the word and I'll be yours. You know I never forgot. We used to be giants. Giants. Oh, I still love you though. I still love you though.
Whoa! Dermot Kennedy, everybody, and his band. Very good. Now, traditionally, I would invite you over for a chat, but we are at COVID capacity.
Yeah.
So I'll just quickly chat to you here.
I won't, inch over to you.
Just pretend I'm an elderly relative and you're shouting through a window. So that's Giants. That is now on Without Fear, the complete edition.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's a new single, but it's on there. It makes sense as part of the whole story, so it's on there.
Yeah. Because there's a bunch of new tracks. If people have the album, there's a bunch of new tracks on this version of the album.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. And this is out next Friday?
I believe. Don't ask me.
It's November the 6th. I was trying to make conversation. It's November the 6th. I know the answer. It's November the 6th. And I'm right. It's everywhere, that song. It's not just, like, in Europe. That's everywhere, that song.
You can say that. I can't.
It is. It's global, ladies. It's global. It's global, ladies and gentlemen. Well, thank you very much for that performance.
Thanks so much.
And it's been lovely shouting with you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Well, listen, that is it for tonight. No time for red chairs, I'm afraid. So please say... Oh, don't. You should have been last year. So please say a huge thank you once more to Dermot Kennedy! Bill Bailey! Frank Gardner! David Walliams! Jessie Buckley! And, of course, Octavia Spencer! Join me next week with guests including boxing champion turned Strictly star Nicola Adams, The Crown's Charles and Diana, Emma Corrin and Josh O'Connor, and Queen of Pop, Kylie Minogue. I'll see you then. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye!
The search is on for the latest rap superstar in BBC Three's The Rap Game UK. Press red now to watch through iPlayer. And the hunt for a new pop supergroup is almost over. It's semi-final time for Little Mix The Search tomorrow at 6:05. But coming up, it's the big app launch day. Awkwafina is Nora from Queens. Next.